Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to Generation Y with me, Maulana Khalil. And with me today, mashallah, is my Sati, my companion, Maulana Rayan Sahib, who's no stranger to Generation Y, no stranger to IQRA TV, mashallah. Maulana, so alhamdulillah, we had a caller, a sister, who talked about free mixing just before the break, and she also talked about drugs, Maulana.
Absolutely. Maulana, it's amongst the teens in the colleges, even from a very, very tender age, 13. It is a big problem. Now, what I would say to the sister or any teenagers out there, it's free mixing is gonna happen because of the society that we live in, right? Now, what you guys should be doing, you keep it, you restrict your free mixing, just like the way you said, where there's a need, for example, class seminars, you've got to sit together, you've got to do a presentation. Iske ilawa, other than that, there should be no free mixing. So it's down to yourself how you go about tackling that. You know, keeping a strong hold on your nafs, your desire. You know, the shaitan would want to say to you, you know what, you've just had a class discussion and, you know, you're sitting in that girl and you were looking at her, she was looking at you, you were eyeing each other, and it stems from there. That's what you should be avoiding. Strictly, it's going to be education. Thereafter, I'm going home, end of story. Now, I said something earlier, is sohbah, the companionship that you have. You know, if you're in a good companion, you will not go astray, and you will not fall into this, into that. Temptations are there. People are saying, Yar, just come with me. We'll go to the park, we'll hang about in the park, we'll do this, do that. And you know, some people say, you know, I'm not a thug, but the thug life chose me. That's not true. No. The thug life doesn't choose anyone, it's what we choose. So it can be, you can eliminate that part from your daily lives if you wish to, but that is solely and wholly, inshallah, down to you. But we will talk on this further after taking this call, Maulana.
Yeah. We got another call. Assalamu alaikum.
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
This is Nasreen Ji from London.
Acha.
Yeah, you can spot out very quickly. Well, I just want to express my opinion. How much glad I am that in the right situation you open the door for our generation. I am really glad, and I really do dua for this. Always I do dua for IQRA TV and all the team, but especially this program, I hope that it will continue and our children will get benefit from
Inshallah.
it.
Inshallah.
So I do sincere dua from bottom of my heart, really.
Thank you.
I am very, very glad,
Thank you.
very impressed about this program. So that's the thing I just want to say.
Thank you so much, Nasreen Ji. Thank you so much. And like you said, do remember us in your du'as. And I think we want as many parents to also involve themselves, inshallah, in Generation Y. And, you know, guys, you know, a drug, using of drugs and stuff like that, it is so easy. If you know, there are some people, Maulana, that have never ever, you know, tried anything, and you know, your friends, your peers may well say, look guy, it's the first time, don't bottle out, don't be a chicken. But that's when you say to yourself, you know what, for you, the teens, there's only one thing, you and your books. Become bookworms, that's it. I even say to my niece and my nephews, my nieces and my nephews, and not only my nieces and my nephews, every teenager out there I'll consider as my niece and my nephews, because we do this show because we want all our teens, all our children, our nieces out there, our nephews out there to do really good and great in life. Engage, keep yourselves engaged. And I think the best thing to do is make a timetable for yourself. Your school term, have a timetable during your holidays. During the holiday period, it's very important that you try to go out in Jamaat. You go out in Jamaat for 2 days and 3 days. I know some people will say, well, why should I go out in Jamaat? But trust me, I studied in Dewsbury. The benefit of going out, leaving your home and going in a teenage under an elder and going for 3 days away from home to another mosque, you are in the best of the environments in the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and those 3 days you will eat together and you will learn so much, and that will put something in you. So going out in Jamaat for 3 days, for 10 days, especially during the holidays, make sure you do that.
Yeah. Jazakallah khair. And on that as well, on the company, the hadith of Rasulullah mentions, Al-mar'u ala dini khalilihi falyanzur man yukhalil. A person is recognized with the company they keep. So look, see who your company, your friendship is. And this is very, very crucial. Good company, right? It's gonna keep you away from a lot of bad things. Bad company, even the good in bad company becomes bad. It's simple as that, Maulana. And you mentioned that example, seminar, you're sitting together. That's fine. That's on a professional level, exactly like you mentioned. But example, we're humans, and let's be honest. Let's not try to hide the fact that as men, as male, we're not attracted to females, and females are not attracted to males. It's a natural thing. Allah has made us like that. We're attracted to each other. So this is the thing, that when you're studying, you've got to make sure it is just studying. It is just your studies. We shall discuss this more, inshallah, but I'm glad to say we've got a caller, Maulana. You want to take the call?
Yep, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Gee, who's calling?
My name is Khurram.
Khurram, by from where?
Bradford.
Fantastic. Tell us, brother Khurram.
Brother, I want to ask about, it's a bit of a low issue. It's about, what people watch online, these dirty little things online. And I'm getting a lot of people coming to me like, brother, watch this on my phone or this and that. Like, obviously the issue's getting worse and worse. I just want to say, if you can shed light on it, how to avoid it, and what, people can do to not engage in such activities.
Absolutely, brother Khurram, what it is, you're so right. And social networking has really truly it has a great negative impact upon the youth, because like you say, people post bad things, whether it's WhatsApp or whether it's Facebook. There's ridiculous and horrible videos out about things like that. It's one has to say, you know what, don't join that group. If you feel that there is, in WhatsApp, for example, that if you're in a group, and in that group, if people are going to post dirty materials or materials that the naked eye should not really see, then just come off that group. It's a disease, it's cancer, and it spreads very rapidly and in a very bad way. And things like that attract the youth because they're at that age, 13 to 19, 13 more or less, they reach the age of puberty, and then going on to 19, the desire is so high up there, and they get really excited. So this is something that we're going to speak very openly, and we want the teens also to speak very openly with us as well. It's a disease that we should try to totally avoid. It's very hard, it's quite easily said, but the best way to do is, if you're in a group, especially WhatsApp group, and in that group there's people who are doing things like that, leave the group, leave a message there, and just get away from it. Maulana?
Absolutely. And talking on that point, Maulana, it's a very, it's not just for the youth, Maulana. This issue of filthy material, dirty material, it could be from videos, images, Maulana. It's not just wrecking the youth, it's wrecking the whole community at large, Maulana, at the moment. You've got marriages breaking up, right? If you're focusing on the youth today, the problem is, brothers and sisters, you look at this material, the filth, the dirt, it's absolutely disgusting stuff, right? You look at it, it excites you, right? It excites you, then we're going to be pretty open on this program. You want to sort of release your tension. It's quite open. Then you go about the haram ways of doing it, right? So when you start from a young age, and when you reach the age of 24, 25, when it's time to get married, you know what? You've already lost half of your energy. And
yes,
this is absolutely true, because you've wasted your energy. You've excited yourself, you looked at the wrong material, looked at the dirty material. Pornography is so common. It is so common, and it's absolutely, it's demolishing our iman. It's destroying our iman. Now, I was doing a program on this on the radio in Ramadan, and somebody mentioned this to me. There is one website, or there's one place, www.loweryourgaze.com. I've not had a chance to go on it, but I've just remembered in the brother's phone call, www.loweryourgaze.com. They mentioned it is brilliant and it'll help people, inshallah, to get off this bad habit. Because the thing is, once you go on it, you say, I'm not going to go on it again, and you go on it again, you go on it again, and it's something you really, and sometimes you do need counseling. And again, on this point, I would tell brothers or sisters, if anybody's got a habit and they're into this habit of pornography and they can't get out of it, seek help. Go to somebody who can help you, guide you. Honestly, don't be ashamed. It's like you go to a doctor for an illness. This is a spiritual illness. It's a huge illness. It's worse than cancer by a long way. Right? It's worse than cancer by a long way. Look, we're human beings, right? And I did mention it, we do get excited. Things, you know, and for our iman is weak, and this is one of our weaknesses, right? That we fall for this. So if you're falling for it and you're trapped in this, then I would say, listen, don't worry about it. Go and seek some help. Don't just sit back and say, you know, I'm too embarrassed. No, do something about it. But do visit this website, www.loweryourgaze.com. And that should help, inshallah. Go to your local ulama ikram as well, inshallah. And inshallah, that should help. But going back to what Maulana said, if you're on such groups where you get, you know, somebody sends you something really silly, then best to leave that group, because you know what, you're going to check it and you're going to fall for it. And
another thing to do, and I say this quite a lot to the youth, during my show IQRA with IQRA, whoever I meet outside, I say that students, you know, you are talibul ilm, you are students or seeking knowledge. You know, your relationship should be you with your home, at school, with your books, and whenever you need the internet, use the internet in a right way. See, internet, television, WhatsApp, Twitter, this kind of, any social network you use, you can get a reward for it, or you'll get punished for it. Punished in the sense you will get, there will be no good deeds. Why? You will be more sinful. If you use WhatsApp for the right reasons, there's reward. If you use the internet for your homework purposes, it's fine. You are going to the resources available to you, but do it in the right way. And another thing, very, very important. I think parents should take a leading role in this. You, the parents, moms and dads at home, you have to be the leading example. Iqra with Iqra, I say it all the time. Ta'lim wa ta'allum. At home, establish sikana, learning and teaching. The parents, the moms and dads do ta'lim at home every day. Take Fazail A'mal out, take Hayatul Sahaba out, take the Quran out, do Ijra, go through the meaning, make that a habit, and openly speak to your kids. Don't be ashamed and don't be embarrassed, because this is Sharia. You need to speak to your kids every day before your children. I say this all the time, Maulana. If the bedtime is 8 o'clock, 7:30, moms and dads, take the responsibility. You're going to sit with your children maximum half an hour, minimum 15 minutes, and you are going to discuss issues. Read from the Hayatul Sahaba, read from the Fazail Amal, read them a hadith that will encourage them to do good, and talk about issues. Ask your children, okay, do you have any issues? Do you have these issues? Let your children be open up to you. You as parents have to be parents. You have to be friends to your kids. They have to be open with you. They've got to feel comfortable with you. And that is one way of getting all that filth out of the heads of our teenagers, or anyone for that matter. So ta'lim wa ta'allum at home, at least 5 days, Monday to Friday. It's a must. And then you will see the barakah descending from Allah. You will see happiness in your family. You will see things are going the right way. You will see the environment just getting better and better in your own houses. Before your children leave the house, make them read few verses from the passage of the Quran. Start from Surah Al-Fatiha. Son, daughter, when you wake up in the morning, yes, you wake up, you have a shower, you have your breakfast, before you exit the house, before you go for your school, before your friends pick you up, Surah Al-Fatiha, read Surah Fatiha. Second day, few verses from Surah Baqarah. Keep a marker there. By the end of the year, 1 khatam. By the end of 2 years, 2 khatam. That is the way forward. Parents have to take a leading role in this.
Parents have to take, it's a huge responsibility. Parents, and the thing about it, parents can't decide, my son is now 15, so I got to do something about it. It's too late. Damage is done. Kids are so sharp. Kids are so clever, right? And I teach more than 4 to 5 year olds in madrasa these days, right? They are so sharp. They talk, they think what we would have thought at 10 or maybe 12 years old.
Totally agree.
Right? They're on another level altogether.
Totally
so
agree.
you're going to be on top of the game from day one, and we can go into this in a lot of detail. But parents, honestly, we say to you that today, make a bit of qurbani. We don't say you become hardcore on your kids. You don't say you completely deprive them from dunya. You got to balance it. It's got to be a good balance. Deen and dunya. Deen and dunya. It's very, very important. Then, inshallah, as you know what? If your kids are good, there is nothing better than having a wonderful child in the house, right? It's a wonderful son, a wonderful daughter who obey you, listen to you, who bring you happiness, who bring you joy. And then what happens? The dua comes out from your heart naturally for your kids. And then your kids become successful. Now, when we don't do the tarbiyah, we let them loose. We're too worried about our money. We're too worried about our job. We're too worried about our house, about our car, about our lifestyle. We deprive our kids. Our kids then go to others for comfort. Our kids go to others for friendship, for counseling, for advice. Then what happens? We're earning money. Our kids go somewhere else. Then what happens? Our kids become rebels. They don't listen to us. Then the worst nightmare, Maulana, the worst nightmare is when our kids turn around to the parents and they use the effing words, they use the B words, and they say, Mom and Dad, I ain't got time for you. That kills a parent. And whose fault is that? Most of the times it's the parents' fault, because you know what? We've deprived our kids from attention, love, and care. It starts from day one. We continue. Yes, we work, but we give our kids time and attention. Just to remind you, you're watching Generation Y with myself, Maulana Khalil and Maulana Rayan Sahab. We're discussing youth and teen issues and problems here. You can either give us a call on 0208 662 4550. If you're too embarrassed to phone, if you're too embarrassed to give us a call, you can email us generationy@iqra.tv. generationy@iqra.tv. It's on the screen as well. You can watch it from the screen, and you can send us an email. You don't have to tell us who you are. Now, you don't just have to email on today's program. Whenever, listen, the purpose behind Generation Y is after this program, during the next week, during the next 2 weeks, whenever you've got an issue, honestly, we'll be more than happy to help you and support you. You are the youth of the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and all of us, we want to go into Jannah, and we're going to try to help ourselves and help you, inshallah, to come onto the right path, inshallah.
Absolutely. And most important, another very important point just come to my mind, Maulana, is the fact that, parents at home, mums and dads, make sure you give your child what they need. Because the thing is, one thing Maulana Said Sahib used to say, कि एहसास कमतरी में अपने आप को मुब्तला नहीं करना. We'll take a call first. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Gee, who's calling?
Dr. Qadri.
Oh, Dr. Qadri Saab, khairiyat se hain. How are you?
All right, I'm a bit of scored.
Yeah, I thought it was you. I was going to say, is that Dr. Qadri or I was going to say Zubairi Saab, Uncle Zubairi, but it's you. Go on.
Right, I've been listening to your discussion. You're absolutely right. The children I have seen over the last 25 years, they come to our, to doctors. They don't want parents to know anything because they have got no confidence in their parents. Parents have developed an attitude that they are frightened of their, children don't treat their parents as friends. It's so important. And then they end up confiding in a kind of friends and whatever. I think parents have got to you said that you have to teach them Quran and all that. My daughter, I want to give something share with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that others will listen. I've got 2 daughters. One is a doctor, alhamdulillah, another is a lawyer. My daughter, who is a doctor, she once was on the internet. She sat for the American exam, and she successfully got through it. But somehow ended up marrying here, and so then she decided not to go. But one day she was doing further examination, she was preparing. She went into a website suddenly, because they come these horrible websites into the PC out of nowhere. And she had so much confidence in me because I had taught her that anything you see naughty, you have to share it with me, with your mummy. And that was from the time she was 8 years old.
Yes.
As a result, when she saw this nasty thing, and she came downstairs, she told me, Daddy, I don't know what I have done. I was searching for this. It's called American Board of Exam, and I found suddenly came this video, and they are saying just by mistake it was, flashing badly, and I must have pressed the wrong button. And I said, well, it doesn't matter. I went upstairs, and that's it. I saw a nasty channel there, nasty link. Then you won't believe it. She closed, she told me, I'm not entering in the room again, study room, unless you remove that PC, you smash it. I don't want that PC. So much she was terrified.
Yes.
That is the kind of fear she had about this nasty channel.
Absolutely.
Now the other thing is that, you said that Quran to show them. Now, she's at the moment she's expecting a baby, alhamdulillah.
Inshallah.
And she just found out she's about 9-10 weeks pregnant.
Alhamdulillah.
And I told her, I said, look, I did a research. I'm going to do for you, find out exactly what happens week by week, what Allah does to our baby, how it grows. And then it came to my research I did there. I found that at the age of 8 weeks, baby can listen because ears are developed. I said, baby is listening now. If you listen to music, he is listening. If you listen to Quran, it will be nice. Baby will sort of come out. He will be used to that Quran, So she and her husband decided to kind of read Quran together that time.
Brilliant.
So that is what parents need to take, kind of responsibility. It is hard, but they have got to sort of strike balance, as the Imam, Maulana was saying. You don't want to kind of keep them away from the world.
Yes.
Technology is important, but I have been lucky because we spend so much time. I myself, basically, when I was a medical student, there was co-education. I had people telling me, my friends who went to engineering, and they were saying, oh, doctor, you are lucky, your girl is there. I said, look, it's nothing to do with that. We mix together. We see microscope, under the microscope, we're girls and boys together. Once we leave, I go to library, I go to home, nothing to do with it.
Yes.
Because my father actually had taught me, my mom had taught me. I'm grateful to them. Allah give them Jannatul Firdaus.
Ameen.
I think I have done the same thing for my 2 girls.
Brilliant.
They have never been clubbing,
Absolutely.
I myself don't know, to be honest with you, Rayan. I don't know what is inside a pub. I've been here 40 years, 35 years.
MashaAllah.
Exactly 35 years. I don't know what is it like inside a pub.
Brilliant.
Excepting I have gone once inside the pub because that was opposite my surgery in Stratford. That is a patient of mine got a heart attack.
Sure.
So I had to run there and resuscitate him and until ambulance came. Otherwise, I don't know what is it like. I've seen it on television.
Yes.
I think we have a culture of drugs and parents are terribly as that. Your Imam Saab next to you was sitting, I don't know his name.
Imam Khalil.
He was saying that it is too late, afterwards to teach children. I have seen patients in my surgery, they have been born in my practice, then they become teenagers. And parents are crying out, they take them to Umrah and Hajj, and that's not going to work when they are 17, 18, So I used to see them in the groups, and then they would come crying about us, especially our people. I tell them, look, it's too late. Now they need proper counseling. And they used to say, come to me. They used to say, Dr. Saab, you do something. Okay. I said, well, I cannot sort of give them lectures. You can't give lectures to children.
Okay.
It is impossible. I think that parents need to take responsibility.
Absolutely.
They need to have children that much confidence that children will come to them.
Yes.
That look, if they go, they say, well, you will see all these websites. I think I'm sorry to say, parents are themselves getting into Skype. They are getting into these social networks. They see themselves nasty things.
Dr. Saab,
Jazakallah.
Jazakumullah for that. I have to cut you short there because we have calls waiting, but that was a very, very well said from Dr. Qadri, mashallah. And Dr. Saab, thank you so much for sharing your own personal experience with your daughter. Parents are the ultimate force in the lives of their children, us, the parents. May ye kehne wala tha, Imam Khalil, that parents, when you're at home, other than Monday to Friday, when kids are engaged with education and other activities, especially the teenage, weekends, make sure you go out as a family. As a family, take them out. Go dining out, go here, go there, and spend time with your kids, inshallah.
I hope my wife's not watching this program.
Well, I hope she is, because that's a thing that us parents, we fail to do. Take your family out, take them, and sometimes, believe me, I feel this, that I would at home sometimes do something wrong deliberately. So I would get, kids at home, my nieces and nephews at home, to say, hey, you're doing that wrong. I said, why am I doing it wrong? Well, you're not supposed to do that. You should know better. So I would do something deliberately, just to see what they say, and give them that free, that free mind that, you can do anything in front of me. Let's not have a barrier with our children and our nieces and nephews before us. It should be open, so they don't do anything behind your back.
Absolutely. And that's a fantastic call by Dr. Saab, but I'm going to ask now with the time around, say, 20:09. We've got 40 minutes left before we end today's program. Time, you did say time goes quick when you're having fun, right?
Yes, it does. It does.
The time's flying. We've heard from elders, and we had the first call was as a teenager sister, I think so. But what we would love to have is teenagers phoning us and telling us your biggest challenges that face you today. Your biggest challenges today. What is it that you think is really, really difficult out there? And maybe, inshallah, with Allah's help, we can support you. We can support you, inshallah. Now, the number to call is 0208 662 4550. Or you can email us on generationy@IQRA.TV. Let me say that. generationy@IQRA.TV. generationy@IQRA.TV. That'd be great if you can email us, inshallah ta'ala. That'd be fantastic. But it'd be great to get a bit of feedback from the youth themselves, the youngsters. Tell us, what are the biggest challenges today? Because we left school a long time ago, we left college a long time ago. Didn't go uni at all, so didn't leave uni. But it'd be great if you give us a call, inshallah ta'ala. Tell us your experiences. We've heard Dr. Saab talking about his daughters. We had a call before. We had the
Brother Khurram rang from Bradford. We had sister Auntie Nasrin Ji rang as well, and before that we had a sister rang.
So, brothers and sisters, do give us a call. While we wait for someone to call in, inshallah ta'ala, I just want to mention something to the youth, which is very, very important. I want you to try to understand your maqam. I want you to understand your status. What is your status in the eyes of Allah? Are you just a youth? Are you just a young geezer? Are you just a young guy, just a young girl who's nothing? No. Let me explain to you. The hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, he mentions there are 7 types of people on the day of Qiyamah who shall be under the shade of Allah's arsh. Okay, so just picture the day of Qiyamah. All right, we hear it often. What is the day of Qiyamah? When the whole of humanity, from the time of Adam salam until the last person who comes into this world, all of humanity, man and woman, okay, Nabi or not Nabi, walis, not walis, Muslim, non-Muslim, all of humanity, jinns from the beginning right to the end, everybody into one place, the sun beating down, Allah's anger, surrounded by angels, okay, everybody not knowing, everybody stark naked on that day. Hazrat Aisha radiallahu ta'ala said to Ya Rasulullah, if people are naked, won't they look at each other? He replied, oh Aisha, people shall be so concerned about themselves, they won't even bother thinking, or they won't even realize, okay? And the Quran mentions, يَوْمَ يَفِرُّ الْمَرْءُ مِنْ أَخِيهِ وَأُمِّهِ وَأَبِيهِ, when every man should be running from each other. Nobody will want to know the best mate. No, there's no best mates on that day today. There is no father-son relationship. There is no mother-daughter relationship. It's every man for themselves. Every man for themselves. Everybody running. What's going to happen? Nafsi, 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 nafsi. What's going to happen to me today? What's going to happen to me today? But subhanallah, on that day when the sun's so close, the sun is millions of miles away, and when it's 20, 28 degrees, 20, 30 degrees, we need the aircon on, we need cold water, we need freezing water to keep ourselves cool. That day, brothers and sisters, there's going to be one place that can keep you cool. One place that is going to keep you cool. That is the shade of Allah's arsh, on the throne of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So there's 7 types of people who are going to be under the arsh, Allah's arsh. One of them is that youth who spent their youth in worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, during one of this time, when you're from the 13, 14 onwards, to be obedient, to be really good, not to do any gunas, it's very, very difficult. So that's the reward for that youngster, boy or girl, is that they will be under the shade of Allah's arsh. That is absolutely fantastic. The cool breeze, the cool air, while everybody else in the whole world is sweating and dripping and concerned about themselves. Now that doesn't mean that youngster is never going to commit a sin. Some people think, oh Maulana, how can I do that? But I'm a sinner. I've been out, I've had alcohol, I've taken drugs. Simple. At-ta'ibu min al-dhanbi kaman la dhanba lah. All you have to do is raise your hand once before Allah Ta'ala and say, you know what, Allah, I won't do it again. Allah, forgive me. And then if you do it again, you raise your hands again and say, Ya Allah, I've done it again, I promised you, but I still did it again. Ya Allah, forgive me. While you keep on doing that, because it's impossible for any human being to say, you know what, I don't commit a sin. Impossible. Apart from the Anbiya alayhi salatu, apart from the prophets of Allah, everybody commits a sin. Everybody commits a sin. Some more, some less, some minor, some major, but we all commit sins. So that youth, that youngster who spends his youth in worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will grant them the shade of His throne on the day of Qiyamah. This is how valuable you are in the eyes of Allah. This is my message I want to say, because we're going to take a break in a couple of seconds, inshallah. But understand how special you are. Understand how great you are. Understand how brilliant you are in the eyes of Allah. Allah values you. Maybe society might not value you. People might look at you in a good way. But Allah values you. You are very, 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 very special in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So my brothers and sisters, we're going to take a wee bit of a break. A little break, inshallah. After the break, we're going to take your calls. Don't go away. Watch. Keep on watching Generation Y with myself and Mona Rayhan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.